Hey, good morning, boys and girls. This is Mr. Chair. Again, I'm having another experiment we're going to do this morning. For this experiment, we're going to be testing uh, the effect of yeast on different temperature water, and we are adding sugar into each of the containers. So in cup one, we have sugar, 1 tablespoon of sugar. It's also added to cup two, cup three, and also cup four. So what I'm going to do first is to add the cold water to the first cup, number one, and then I will give it a stir later on. So I have equal amount of water that I'm adding, and cup two is actually boiling water that I just heated up and I added to cup number two. Cup three has warm water, and cup four has warm water. So after adding the different temperatures of water, I'm going to take the spoon and give it a quick stir, starting with cup one that has the cool water, and then I add this to cup two. I stir this that has the hot water or boiling water. You notice that everything has dissolved in cup two. Cup three, give it a stir, and then cup four, also give it a stir. The next thing we do in the experiment is to add sachets of yeast to each container. So cup one, I'm going to add it also to cup two. Cup three. And then cup four. So I'm going to mark the level at where the water is now for each container, and then I will wait for 5 minutes. So cup one, that's the level. Cup two, container three, and container four. So what I'm going to do to container four, I have a saran wrap, clay plastic. I'm going to cover this. And then I'll pause the video and we'll return after 5 minutes. We're back after 5 minutes. We want to observe our experiments and see what's happening. So this is cup number one. I don't see much happening in terms of the foam. Cup number two, wow, in the boiling water it has risen a lot. We're gonna measure the height of the foam. And this is cup number three. In the warm water, the yeast mixed with the sugar has also increasing foam. And this is cup number four. There's also a rise in the foam. We're going to measure the height, and this is also producing a gas in this particular container. So I want to mark them, and then I will carry on the measurements and come back again. I'm going to pause this and take the measurements and write them down in the data table. We've taken measurements of cup number 1 that has the cold water, sugar, and the yeast, 0.1 centimeter. Cup 2 was measured, the foam was measured to be 3 centimeters. Cup 3 that has the warm water and the sugar and a sachet of yeast was measured to be 3 centimeters. And cup 4 went up to 4 centimeters. We're going to wait another 5 minutes and take our data for the last portion of the experiment to measure the thickness of the foam. We're back. So after additional 5 minutes, we took the measurements for cup number 1. There hasn't been no change. It's still 0.1 centimeters. For cup 2, you can see the third mark that was made, and it was measured to be 3.5 centimeters. That's the height of the foam. And cup 3, you can see the mark. It went up a little bit, and it went up to 4 centimeters. And cup 4, it went way up, and it still has a little gas being produced, and it went up to 5 centimeters. Alright, so this is the end of the experiment. I hope you enjoyed and learned a lot about yeast metabolizing sugar to produce carbon dioxide. So in terms of temperature, in the cold water, there was not much done. The hot water, the boiling water, it went up to 3.5 centimeters. Room temperature water, warm water went up to 4 centimeters, and the warm water that was covered went up to 5 centimeters after 10 minutes. Thank you for the privilege of your time. Hope you enjoyed this experiment.